The non-selection of Shubman Gill for India's T20 World Cup size continues to be a talking point despite it having happened a few days prior. Now, whilst there have been precious few who've been in disagreement with the call, there have been some different kind of arguments that have come about, namely due to the fact that the Indian team management themselves stressed that Gill was dropped mainly due to combinations and nothing else, whilst others can quite clearly see that his form in itself wasn't very good. Well, in former India international Mohammed Kaif, we've gotten a new level of criticism, and this time around, he's basically questioned why it is the selectors chose to, in his words, waste time with the Gill experiment when you could have actually been building towards something else. Now, again, it is worth noting that he's not criticized the call. We'll see exactly what it is he had to say in just a bit, but rather why it is that it was made in the first place. This is what he had to say. He said that, look, you've carried Shubman Gill till the very end and then you dropped him. I feel it is the right call. It came late, but it was right. The planning, however, is zero. And this is something that he really harps upon. He said very clearly that, look, there's nothing wrong with the decision to drop Gill. However, it came late, it was right. But where exactly is the planning? The planning is what it is that he's questioned, and he goes into some detail as to why it is he felt that this was poor planning from their side. Starting with the fact that he felt there were better players. This is what he had to say. There were better players than Gill in this format. For 2 to 3 months, you could have invested in a Yashasvi Jaiswal, Sanju Samson and Jitesh Sharma instead. And again, it's hard to look beyond his argument entirely. Yes, of course, let's ignore the fact that he's talking about a Samson and Jitesh, both of whom play different roles. But he's not wrong when saying that, look, there are better players to be working with in the T20 setup than Shubman Gill. That part is not entirely wrong, and that's why he said that there were better players, and this is why he was so critical of the planning, saying that it was essentially time that you frittered away in this experiment, trying very hard to make it work, but in the end realizing it's not working. He said that it has been a waste of time in the name of planning. You back that player who is not ready now, and there were better players than him. Again, it's hard exactly to disagree with this assessment because Gill was very randomly parachuted back into the team in the Asia Cup and was named vice captain. That in itself gave you an indication that the team was seeing him as a long-term captaincy prospect and were also willing to kind of put him into the team come what may, even if that meant disrupting the Sanju Samson Abhishek Sharma pairing that had actually given you plenty of success in T20 cricket. In the end, though, his lack of returns led to him being dropped at the last minute. But I can't help but agree with Kev's assessment that it was a bit of a waste of time. You didn't need to do it. I understand having that sort of an experiment if things aren't working out. But India in T20I cricket are the form team. They were untouchable even prior to Gill being brought in, and they've remained untouchable despite the fact that putting Gill in the side exposed some obvious chinks. His strike rate isn't quite the same as an Abhishek or Sanju, so he couldn't get off to those explosive starts, and it put more pressure on the lower order and middle order as well. So that is why you had to take the call, bite the bullet now and say, no, we're going to not play him. Maybe go back to this experiment later on, but not right now. However, it did waste plenty of time because if you had played all of these series with the formation or the combination that was actually getting you results, you could have been in a much stronger position. That being said, no disagreements that the call was the right one to drop him, even if it came late. But what are your thoughts on this entire matter? Let us know that in the comments below, and don't forget as always to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap that bell icon, follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, X and Facebook, and stay tuned for more such updates from the world of sport.